Welcome to day 246 of our BU 365 day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. Facebook, where I record this, is doing strange things again and has changed the way we do videos. So I have no idea if this is going to work or not. It's not changing me to landscape according to my messages, but I'm appearing in landscape. So we'll see how this works out. I might have like half a face. So today we're going to talk again a little bit about, we're focusing on communication for this month. For the month of September, we're focusing on the life framework area of communication. And yesterday we talked about modes, and we gave ourselves an overall rating for how well we communicate on a scale of 1 to 10. And then we said, what is our favorite mode? What is our favorite method of communication? And I said mine was verbal. So today what we're going to do is we're going to dig a little deeper into this, and I'm going to share 14 different modes or different things to think about with respect to communication, and we're going to rate ourselves on each one of these on a scale of 1 to 10, and then we're going to rank order them from 1 being the one we're most comfortable with, that we like the most. We already did that yesterday, so we know what that is, unless we changed our mind and thought about it more, and down to 14. And I've actually already done this. You can see I did my homework. I did it this morning as I was thinking about it. And I'll list what these are, and I rated them on a scale of 1 to 10. My alarm went off. And I ranked them 1 through 14. So what are these areas and these different modalities? Number 1, and this is just a combination of all the lists we talked about yesterday, because I found it very confusing and a lot of overlapping information. So I thought, okay, well, let's break them down in ways that we can think about and say, okay, well, how good am I at that? How good am I at verbally communicating? Some days I trip over my tongue and I can't talk at all, and other days I do just fine. So number 1, verbal. Number 2, nonverbal. Number 3, written. Number 4, listening. Number 5, visual, meaning graphics and pictures and things that we can see. Oral, meaning sounds, things that we can hear, music, sounds, different sounds that are used to communicate information. Gestural, meaning what kind of gestures do we make, what kind of hand motions, what kind of movements do we make. Spatial, we talked about yesterday, how do we show up in a space? Do we leave a lot of white space when we're writing? Things like that. Electronic, and I made up these next 3. I didn't really make them up, but I thought about them. I think, okay, electronic means the internet, apps, different software that we might use. How competent and confident are we with that in terms of our communication? Social media, I put, because I think that that's a whole category that we want to look at, and we might say, for example, my daughter doesn't participate in social media at all. So she'd be like a 1. I participate in social media a lot, so I gave myself a 7. And of course, I couldn't leave it at 1 through 10. I had to put little pluses and minuses on things. So I gave myself a 7 plus for that. But on listening, for example, I gave myself a 5 minus, meaning I'm probably less than average, slightly less than average, but not quite a 4. Multimodal, meaning we combine different modalities together. So if I'm reading and writing, if I'm reading and listening, any way that we combine things, how well do you do that, or do you have to be singularly focused? If I'm listening to something, I can only be listening to it. I can't be doing anything else. If I'm writing, I can't have any other music or distractions or things. So oral and writing might go together for you. If you're one of those people that needs music to write and study, or to read and to cut out distractions, that would be an example of being multimodal. Olfactory means sense of smell. I gave myself an average on that because I have no idea. I've never really thought about it before. Haptic, the touch, I gave myself again a 5 average because I haven't really ever thought about it consciously. And finally, I put special all in one category. So if you know Braille, sign language, semaphore, or Morse code, give yourself more points for that. I gave myself a 3 for that because I know a little sign language, but the others I don't really know or have any experience in. So then I ranked them after I rated each one of them on a scale of 1 to 10. I think my lowest was a 3, which I just shared, and then the other one was visual, 4, because I'm legally blind, so I can't really give myself even average for that. And then number 1 for me was verbal, and then 2 written, 3 social media, 4 electronic, 5 multimodal, 6 visual, 7 spatial, 8 haptic, 9 olfactory, because I don't think much about smell, 10 gestural, 11 nonverbal, 12 listening, 13 oral, meaning sound and music. I used to be very musical, but not so much since I got married. And then the last one was the special Braille sign language, semaphore, and remember semaphores, the flags? Never communicated with flags. And then Morse code. I don't think I've ever used Morse code either. So that is our action item for today. Think about these different modes of communication, and then rate yourself first. It's easier to rate yourself first because then it really helps you to find out which is my ranking, especially when we have 14 things. If you want to do a simpler version of this, if you want to say written, oral, and break it down to maybe 5 or 6, go ahead and do that too. It doesn't have to be this complicated, but since we talked about them and learned all of them, I'm like, all right, I feel like I should include them, at least when I'm rating and ranking myself. All right, any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow for another communication related item that we're going to do each and every day. I think we're talking about thoughts and beliefs tomorrow. I'd have to check my calendar, but I'm pretty sure we are. Any questions? Ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.